podcasting incident with me, Dave Hill, the pride of Cleveland and beyond. I once got free beef jerky in Pittsburgh once at a gas station. Someone just dropped it, actually. But anyway, thank you for joining me once again for this incredible podcast. And without you, I would just be talking by myself in my apartment right now. I mean, arguably, that's what I'm still doing. But thank you for joining me once again. We have an incredible episode in store for you tonight. It's a dangerous episode, which is why maybe you can hear the cops circling outside. Before we get into things, I wanted to thank everyone for rating, reviewing, and subscribing on iTunes and Stitcher and all that. And thank you for supporting us on Patreon. Please go to patreon.com/Dave Hill and become a part of this podcasting empire revolution. We have lots of new stuff in store. Those of you that are part of the Patreon know that we've started releasing episodes of another incredible new podcast called You Had to Be There, which I do with my friends Jim Biederman and Jody Lennon. And we're going to be unleashing that on an unsuspecting public on iTunes and all that fairly soon. Luci's not on that show, but she's going to get her own ASMR series coming up real soon. What else did I want to... Anyway, so yeah, patreon.com. Go there, Dave Hill, and give us all your money. No, just throw something at us. Help us keep gas in the tank. All right. As the late, great Joe Franklin taught me, I've gotten the plugs out of the way. What else is going on, Dave? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I've just returned from South by Southwest in Texas. It was super fun. I did some shows. I did Todd Barry's crowd work show, which was super fun. It was me, Todd, and Beth Stelling. I did a roast battle. I went up against Stuart Goldsmith from England. And then I did a couple other super fun shows. And it was electric. A movie that I'm in called Carmine Street Guitars was screening down there. I did the Q&A for that. Made out with a lot of chicks. No, just kidding. What else? Oh, did I mention another movie I'm in? As long as we're on the topic of me, Dave, from before, being in movies. Boy Band is out now. It stars me, Seth Herzog, Jordan Carlos, Steve Agee, of course. I'm just pausing because I just blacked out from excitement about this movie. So Julie Goldman, Esther Koo, Dave Gruber, Alan. Who am I forgetting? I'm probably just forgetting about 78 other people who are in the movie. But it's a really fun movie, and it was super fun to make. And I'm hoping you have a super fun time watching it. It's on all streaming, downloadable. Go on iTunes. Just get on iTunes. Do me a favor. Written by Joel Moss Levinson and Stephen Levinson. They're brothers, if you didn't pick up on that. Directed by Joel. Go watch it. Okay, what else? South by South. Oh, this is what happened at South by Southwest. I wasn't even going to get into this, but one day I was going to go see my friend's band, The Pauses. They were playing kind of far away, and there's a lot of traffic. And there's these scooters all over Austin now. You can somehow scan with your phone, and you get to ride this scooter around town. But I don't know if it's because I'm a caveman or I'm getting old or something, but I could not figure out how to make these things work. So the long and short of it, I ended up not making it to their show. So I had some time to kill. So I decided, hey, I had hours to kill basically, and I decided I'm going to get a beer and read the local, the Austin Chronicle, see what's going on, and have a beer, and then I go get some Indian food. That was really good. And then I thought, well, I have a lot of time to kill, and I thought maybe I should have another beer. I don't know, but then I thought maybe I shouldn't. I was on the fence about it because I thought, I want to be clear-headed for my show because, that's professionalism. And I was going to throw out my plate from the Indian food truck that I got, and I go over to the trash can, and this guy whips out his This is really gross. I'm sorry. I hope you're not eating. He whips out his catheter bag and just starts dumping it right in front of me, all by way of saying, decided against the second beer. Okay, gosh, I hope I can tell that story on the Moth one day. Let's just get into it. Now that I've horrified you with that tale, maybe I haven't. I don't know. I guess if you listen to this podcast, it's the kind of crap you've come to expect from me. But today's episode is really, I had a blast recording it. They're comedians. They're a couple. They're married. They could not be more different. Jess Salomon and Eman El-Husseini. They're Canadians. Eman is Palestinian. Jess is Jewish. One's a Taurus. One is a Leo. It's crazy. And there's anyway so much going on. And they were an absolute delight. And they go to their website, El-Salomons.com, and just dive in. A lot of awesome stuff. They have some comics here about their relationship. And anyway, but enough about that. You can do that after. And in the meantime, listen to my delightful conversation with Jess Salomon and Eman El-Husseini. I'm sorry for stuttering. Eman El-Husseini. I struggle with basic speaking, which is ironic since I'm sitting here just talking, rambling on. But they were a blast to have over, and I could have recorded for 78 hours with them. But they probably wanted to get out of here because, let's face it, I can be a bit annoying after a while. But I had a great time. Here it is, my delightful conversation with Jess Salomon and Eman El-Husseini. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Talking to them, that is. Okay. Get a calm Luci. What are the chances?
Someone is chilling.
Good girl.
It's Jess's energy.
I think we're
Hey?
We're good.
You come,
I calm people down.
you really do.
You do have a calming energy.
Yeah.
I was bouncing off the walls before you got here.
I try not to take it personally, but Iman likes me to talk at night so that she falls asleep, which makes me feel bad.
It's just very relaxing. I don't mean it in an insulting way.
No, I think that's the highest compliment.
Yeah.
That you put someone to sleep with your words.
Yeah. Just drifting off.
Yeah.
No, I think that's nice. Thank you guys for coming over.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Happiness.
And doing my podcast with me and Chris and Luci.
Yeah. A calm Luci.
She's very calm.
She's weirdly calm.
She's definitely alive because
We have
you can see
verification.
her breathing. Yeah.
She was up puking all last night.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
she's in the post-puke recovery. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, I guess so. Like, she really made a night of it.
Oh, Lucy.
Which normally I wouldn't discuss on the podcast, but she's got quite a fan base.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
So I
of course.
figure the listeners should know.
Yeah,
It was
been
a
through
puke
it.
fest. Wait, so do you guys have any animals?
We
No.
don't.
Neither of us grew up with pets.
I
You
had
a-
rabbits.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But not like really a real, And then I had cats later
Well, with your roommate.
with my roommate. Rabbits with my family, cats with my roommate.
That's how I knew I really liked Iman, because I don't like cats at all. And at the house where she was living with her roommate, they had cats, and
Oh, wow.
I'm like mildly allergic, and I also just don't really like cats. And I
liked
put
one
on
of
a
them.
show.
Maybe
the
that's
orange
why,
one.
I guess you pretended to like the
Yeah,
cat.
no, I was like coming up with like a rabbi outfit for Halloween or
Yeah,
something, or
yeah,
what to
yeah.
give him a bar mitzvah. I don't know. Anyway,
Wait, you were going to make the cat dress as a rabbi, or you were going to dress as a rabbi?
I would make the cat dress as a rabbi. I think I
love
had
that.
some Jewish themed idea for the cat in the early dates. This is how I court women.
If I can interrupt quickly, Luci's just farted.
Oh,
And I
that's
want
what
you
it
to be
smelled.
clear.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to
I
be
got
very
that
clear.
smell. That is
Yeah.
Lucy.
That-
So that's what you do. That's why you have a dog.
Well, yeah. Can cover. Well, like she just.
We pretend that she had a bad stomach all night.
Yeah,
And then
and
it's very
then-
easy.
And then I can just be free with my body when people come over. No, she just like, I was reaching under the table and she was looking for her ball on the table and she had just let loose and I got, I don't know, crop dusted or something.
Oh my
and
God.
Chris said he had never smelled a dog fart before. And I feel like I never am not smelling them when
yeah,
I'm here.
yeah, yeah.
So anyway, but I
mean,
didn't.
this one smells pretty regular, pretty human.
You kind of like get used. Like I find them a bit charming in a kind of a gross way.
It's better than
Like
when...
I kind of just
Yeah.
breathe it in, accept it. But
you
the
love
reason
her.
I totally interrupted is because I thought they probably 100% think I just let it
Totally.
rip right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want you to know I run a classier operation than that. I wouldn't do that.
I appreciate the clarification.
Yeah. Just so you know.
Yes. Yeah. It's already passed, though. It's not as bad
It's
as
gone.
when-
It's not
Yeah,
as...
I don't
yeah.
like it when you're in a Uber or something.
Oh.
Or the cab, and it's like...
When the Uber just smells bad to begin with,
And you're
it's
trapped.
terrible, and you're trapped
Yeah.
in there, and then you feel like
Yeah.
you don't want to insult him by like putting
opening
down the window.
Well, when it's winter.
Sometimes I
When it's
did
winter, too.
just yesterday, and I but it's like sometimes you have to save yourself. I
Yeah.
try to. There's only I'll put up with a lot.
Yeah.
Dog farts, general odors, but when it's really aggressive, you just gotta be like,
Exactly. If like they're not embarrassed by it, you shouldn't be embarrassed by opening
Oh,
the
yeah,
window.
that's what you always say.
You know what I
If
mean?
they're not embarrassed to fart, then you shouldn't be embarrassed
To open the window.
yeah,
to let them know that you know and that you need
yeah,
other air. Yeah.
Or you just give it right back to them. Double down and just start letting it dig deep. Even
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
have
yeah.
nothing locked and loaded, just find it.
Oh, my God.
Find it in yourself.
I was always kind of jealous of people that could burp, kids that could burp on command.
I can do that. I
Oh.
won't, but I could.
Yeah. I
Can you
never-
whistle too with your fingers?
I can't. I can never do that.
No, me neither.
What else can you do, Dave?
That's the farting,
That's
the burping. Those are my two major skill sets.
yeah.
Everything else is a bit iffy. But I have so many. Wait, so you guys are both Canadian.
Yes.
First of all, which is,
That's right.
as Chris probably warned you. Well, we'll get into this a little later. More heavier all Canadian.
Yes.
In the other podcast, but I'm super obsessed with Canada. So
Really?
I'm really pumped. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
literally writing a book about Canada right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I've been traveling through Canada. But are you guys from, you met in Montreal?
Yeah. I'm from there. I was born there.
Oh, really?
And Iman came when she was 10, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you both full
Montrealers.
Montrealers,
Montrealers.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it the best city?
It's the best
It's
city.
the best.
And it's all thanks to the French.
They like you go there. I was just there like 2 weeks ago. And it's the best.
It's really the best. I agree. We were so sad that we had to leave. Although
Why
we
did
love
you
New
ha-
York.
Why did you? Well,
I
New
mean,
York's
New York
the best.
is New York.
New York is
yeah,
actually the
New York is actually the best.
New York, but you guys came here at not the best time to come to America.
No,
Like,
we didn't. I mean, neither did anyone else see it coming. But we moved here. It's going to be 3 years
Oh, wow.
that we physically walked over the border and immigrated.
That's right.
April 2nd, 2016.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, every time I left Canada, it was Stephen Harper who was conservative when I lived in Canada. As soon as I leave, they elect a liberal guy, and then I come in here with Obama, but then they elect a conservative guy. So I don't know if it has anything to do with me living
Yeah.
in a country where right-wing leaders get elected. Like they see my name or something and just like freak out.
the whole everyone
Yeah,
have to
they're like,
swim.
Eman El-Husseini,
Calling
what is
Trump a
that?
conservative guy is even like a compliment.
I know. I was gonna say. I was like,
He's
that's
such an
very,
aberration on so many
It's
levels.
very generous of you to say. I mean, if he were merely conservative, I wouldn't even be paying attention.
Yeah.
I would just be like, oh, check back in a few years. It'll swing back the other way, but I'm like, oh. But
Yes.
Are you a New Yorker?
I'm from Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Not to brag.
Okay.
But
We've never been.
No.
oh, you're in for a treat. If you like Montreal and me.
There's gotta be, those kind of cities have like kind of a cool underbelly, I feel like.
Cleveland's great. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
It is really great, but it's sort of like you have to know
Where to
What
go.
to
to
do.
go. Like you could go there and completely miss its charms entirely. Or you could go and be like, this is the best place I've ever been in my life. And
That's where
it's
Drew Carey's show, was that the Drew Carey show?
Yeah, the Drew Carey
And
show.
Hot in Cleveland.
Hot in Cleveland.
I love what.
Was that Betty White?
Yeah,
Okay,
I love
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
These are our references.
That's all you need, really.
We're not writing a book on Cleveland.
What about, what's his name? LeBron.
LeBron
That's
James. Huge, yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Were you sad that he left Cleveland? Like I was kind of invested in that period a little bit.
Because you're a basketball, if I can guess.
A
from
little
your
bit,
hat.
yeah. Not as much as I used to be. But
Mine's wearing
you
the
know,
Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Brooklyn
hat. We
Nets
went
hat.
once and got the hat.
I know,
It's
and
a
it's like
cool
I'm such a traitor because we went to see the Brooklyn Nets play the Toronto Raptors. And I immediately, I was like, who am I going to root for? Brooklyn, where I live?
But you hate Toronto.
I do hate Toronto.
Everyone hates Toronto, right?
It's just, yeah.
Well, not people from Toronto.
No.
No, but like I didn't realize this, but the more time I've been spending in Canada, that's one of the first things people in Toronto are like. Everyone hates Toronto more than people hate New York in America.
Yeah. Does anybody hate New York?
People hate New York?
I mean,
I
not
thought everybody
really.
everybody just dreams of living in New York.
They do, I think. I don't think.
Or people at
really
least love
hate
to
New-
visit.
I think people are jealous of New York.
Yeah.
Like they're, like they'll be like, well, we have Thai food in our city.
Although-
we have that.
I gotta say, the best Thai food I ever had, and I haven't been to Thailand, so the best Thai food I ever had in North America was in Pittsburgh.
We went to a really good place.
It was incredible. Remember
Yeah,
how good that was?
Noodlehead.
Noodlehead.
Shout
It was
out.
so good.
That's a good name too.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's
Pittsburgh
like a modern,
was awesome
yeah. It's
in
like
general.
yeah. It was a cool spot. It wasn't like some hole in the wall like Thai.
That was
authentic.
trendy, but like kind of authentic too. Because remember, we saw a lot of like older
we
Asian
saw a
men
lot of Asian.
take off their reading glasses and like wipe the
Well,
sweat
they had
off their forehead.
yeah, because you could order it like there was a scale of spicy, and you could do from like 0 to 5 or 6 or something.
I always have to do 0 with this one.
0 was it still was.
That's another thing.
picante,
She pretended to like my cat when we first met, and spicy food, and
I
those
put
are-
And
yeah.
now she's letting her true self be known.
now she's throwing out
Wild.
my hot sauces
No, I
from
don't
the fridge.
I don't even bother. I mean, you let yourself go.
Yeah,
In
you
different
have.
ways.
So how long? What? So I would just knowing your backstory. So it says in your bio that someone. What is the quote? I have it somewhere.
Oh,
You two broads should kiss. Someone suggested this.
you have to say it more like Italian.
Oh,
Like more
you two
like,
bro.
You two broads.
Oh, so it's just like some gross guy.
well,
across
no,
the
it was our
room?
friend.
Oh.
He's a comedian.
A gross guy that we're good friends with.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he sounds like a gross guy, but he's a good guy actually.
Yeah.
I was just picturing some guy
But we could show
with
you
the
what-
accent. It sounds like
Yeah.
someone was like leering across.
Well, he I mean, he is all those things, but he's also
Lovely.
like physically, he like has that character. Like he would be cast as that guy.
Oh, okay.
He's like looks like a Belushi brother.
Yeah,
kind of.
totally.
And he's a friend of ours from like the stand-up scene in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we were just getting drunk, and he was trying to have a threesome. And
And
that's like,
I never knew that you also had made out with him in the past, because I thought I was the only one who had fooled around with him, but I guess you did too.
No, I don't know. Maybe just kissed once or something, but not
Okay.
really. Yeah.
So we've had a history, and
they
I guess
had a thing going.
But so okay. So I get so. But then had you either? The reason I ask is because some other friends has similar story
Ooh, okay, good. We're not alone.
where, well, it was like friends of friends, but but like, it was like two couples, a married man and woman, and then boyfriend and girlfriend, and they were all hanging out, and one of the guys said, "You two broads should kiss," and they had been in just straight relationships for their whole lives, and then they did, and then they were like, oh, we're out of here.
No, I honestly think there should be a PSA for men who are just like, oh, this will be hot to watch these two women kiss. I should get them some drinks. And then they just go off on their own and like make a lifelong commitment to each other.
Yeah, totally. I thought it was I loved it so much because I was like, oh, this guy was just being a dickhead.
But he was kind of being a Cupid.
He did. He didn't know it. But like, but he lost his wife.
That's like,
crazy.
Yeah, this guy didn't lose. I mean, well, I think he had maybe feelings for you, but you didn't.
Like his drunken joke.
That's so funny.
Tore his life
so they're
apart.
together. Are you friends with them?
I'm not in touch with them anymore. They were more like friends. I knew them like kind of in groups, but they're together.
That's so funny.
And they're so.
We could add that to our show as an extra PSA of another story that exists. That's so funny.
Legend.
But is that what, aside from, what had you guys been? So
we were just comedians on the same small comedy team, so we were friendly.
For 2 years before any of that happened.
Yeah, when I came on the comedy scene, there were only like really two women, Eman and this other comedian Deanne Smith, and Deanne and I became best friends, and Eman became my wife, and then like 6 months after me, there were like a few other women that came on the scene.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think of. I had my own stuff going on relationship wise, and that I was just kind of getting out of at that point, and I never really thought of Eman in any kind of like sexual way because you were straight. Her whole persona was like on stage and in general was, a straight party girl.
That's what I was
single.
until I kissed you.
Oh,
God.
That's
how amazing that kiss
fun.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And I should stress, I'm not asking, because I realize in even asking that I probably sound like a third guy on a bar stool. I don't mean it now. It just, when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, that reminds me of
That's
right. friends I know. So I realize I probably sound just like those guys, but I don't mean it in that way. I'm just gonna drop some coffee. And then so you get married, and then you're Palestinian and you're Jewish, so there's so many layers to all of this. Canadian, which
that's
is
the craziest.
That's the headline with my own personal interests.
I'm a Taurus. She's a Leo.
Our
that's a very bad match.
Aren't even
bad?
compatible.
I don't know.
That's right.
Not compatible.
Leo's that's your powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Both Tauruses and Leos.
Oh, I see.
A Taurus,
so
very
both.
bullheaded, also wants all of the attention.
Yeah?
Yeah, you don't think so?
No. I thought stubborn, but I didn't know. I thought Leos were more the spotlight and
You like it
camera.
too.
Yeah?
You don't think?
Well, I mean, I do stand up, so I guess I must.
Yeah.
What sign are you?
I'm Gemini.
Gemini, that's good.
So I think it's both the two-faced or something.
You're just, a lot of double different dichotomy.
Attention-starved,
Yeah.
I guess, in the terms of stand-up, but also being on stage is the last thing I would ever want to do at the same time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, do you ever feel that way as stand-ups? I've sort of realized early on that I loved performing and being on stage, when it was happening, but I absolutely hate the idea of it every other second of the day. I was just talking to Chris before you guys got here, just looking at the schedule of the months ahead. I'm just my first thought is always how can I get out of this?
Totally.
Because you're God, I don't want to get up on stage, but then you get up and you're oh,
it's the best time. Yeah, I agree.
On stage and the feeling after getting off stage.
If it's good,
if it goes well, that little moment after that, that's the best. And being on stage are the two.
Exactly, but we dread it with reason. You dread it because you're what if it goes badly? It's so embarrassing, facing all these people avoiding. I remember bombing one so badly, so terribly, in an auditorium place. It was for Coca, which is the college.
A NACA. Canadian NACA.
Uh-huh.
And I did so terribly on my set that these guys that were sitting in the auditorium pretty high up wanted to avoid me so badly. So instead of going down the stairs to walk by me to exit, they decided to jump off of their seats.
Wait,
climb
exit.
over seats.
The way they were trying to leave during the show or something?
Leave afterwards, but they didn't want to walk by me because you know how like sometimes when you don't do well on a show, people avoid eye contact, but they wanted to like not even walk by me.
Oh.
It was that bad of a
So they would
bomb.
prefer to
So
like
they thought
climb
they're-
up their
almost break a leg.
seats, you know, up to go around or.
Are you? But do you think you might be imagining that?
100%. 100%. I'm not imagining. 100%. I felt like they were just like, eek, we don't want to walk by her. Let's jump out of here.
What do you think about that? Like after performing, because there is like part of me is like, I'm like, I wouldn't mind some compliments.
Yeah.
But then the other voice in my head is like, you piece of shit. Like what do you know? No one's gonna say anything to you. Like, what do you need? You need compliments to feel good about yourself, and have this internal thing of whether I should just sneak out the back or like stand in the front, like, hi.
Oh yeah, I always run away. I'm like too nervous. Even if I have a great set, I'm like I don't want to talk to people. I don't know why. It makes me uncomfortable. Although I usually in regular life I like compliments very much, but
You like compliments after shows too.
I take compliments very seriously. I always say that, but yeah.
I mean, you used to like you'd report to me like the compliments you would get, and
I know, and you're
then
like 80% of what you tell me are compliments. I'm like, obviously, I'm not telling you 100% of everything that's going on.
Yeah. Because I'm like, do you notice how you like tell me the compliments like at the end of the night, and I don't like. I don't think I hear them really or take them as seriously. But this is
really
like the Leo thing.
Yeah.
My mom is a Leo, so
She's been trained.
I've been trained my whole life. My mother, yeah. That's how come I know how to handle, because my mom is like major. She was born the same day as Madonna, so she's that's a real Leo day. And
what day is that?
August 16. And my mom also was very gorgeous, and when I was in high school at the prom, it was there was the dance where like the girls danced with the dad, and then the mom danced with the dates, and all the guys were talking about how my mom was a fox, and my mom's from South America, and her English is pretty perfect. It is her second language, but it is really good.
Where in South America?
Peru. And
don't you see it?
I know.
I do. Yeah. I was like,
I know.
totally.
And she.
Where's your dad from? Is he from the most opposite of Peru place?
Yeah, I mean he's on my dad's side. We've been in Canada for a few generations. Originally, like Eastern Europe, but. Yeah, I told my mom that some of the guys were calling her a fox. And as soon as I pay her a compliment, she immediately makes me regret it, because she's just like, Jessica, what is a fox? And I'm like, you know what it is. Oh, my God, don't make me, just like she wants to hear it 18 times. I'm like, I can't. Why did I bring this up? I didn't need to feed this ego beast. So I'm well trained. But now you don't, I guess you don't give me the compliments. You don't report the compliments that much.
Well,
anymore.
I mean, if you're going to complain about it, I'll just tell whoever wants to hear about it.
You can call David.
Yeah, you can always
or
tell
you can
me.
get on the phone with Lucy.
Tonight.
but there is a feeling of I never really know if people are just saying something nice because they're walking by me. But at a certain point, I feel like I guess it is part of our job to be there, good or bad. Especially if you're selling merch or trying to get a mailing list and do that part of the job. After, if you're headlining something, it feels like you should maybe be there to talk to people after. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think in general, I
mean, I've stood there after bad shows.
Yeah,
she's brave.
When people are like, or if you just know, like, oh, maybe this, I don't know. Yeah, like when people just go, that was fun, thank you. And you're just kind of like, oh, how do I get out of this lobby?
Yeah. I mean, in my head, I try to just remind myself, like, if they didn't like your stand-up, like, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah. It's not, Or you just look at your phone and you go, oh, my God, I have to leave. How is it hard, like, because you're both, you perform together also.
We've started doing that,
and then, but is it hard having the same job? Like,
it's at the beginning, I never wanted to date a comedian. When I got into comedy, I was like, I barely made any comedian friends. I had like my friends that I grew up with. I wanted my work to be separate from my social life. And I just didn't like comedians to begin with.
Well, I find I'm kind of like that, and I feel like I can handle a certain amount of comedians, but if there's too many like, when there'll be like a party, someone's birthday party or something, and it'll be like every, comedian, whatever, there's a ton of comedians, and then a non-comedian will hear about it, and they're like, oh my God, that must have been the funnest party. I'm like, no, it's
Not
the
really.
worst party. Because every
comedian.
single person is used to being like the funniest person when they're the only comedian or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so you have a whole room of people that like want to be like the funny person at the party, and then everyone is like mildly mentally ill.
Of course.
Mild or extremely.
Of course.
And then the whole night is like, that person was weird to me. Were they weird to me?
Right.
Or was I weird to them? Like, and it's a bunch
so
of people
funny.
feeling like something strange has happened.
That's right.
It's not just like normal.
But
in smaller groups, it's all right.
I don't feel that way in New York, though. I don't know if it's because I feel like everybody here is just like a hustler and taking this so seriously. So there's like no pettiness, or at least the people that I talk to. Like, she's surprised, I think, how sociable I became in New York in comparison to how I was in Canada. In Canada,
No, you
I
like-
literally had two
You like
friends on the
socializing
scene.
with comedians here.
Here, I love it.
Yeah.
I just find them a lot more.
It's just it's a bigger scene.
and it's not dramatic, and it's not petty. I don't
In
know.
Canada,
it's
I
different.
mean, there's very little future
and a lot of
and
free
opportunity.
time. Yeah.
So people
And a lot of
can get
competition.
very
Oh, because they don't.
Cutthroat. 'Cause
It's
there isn't-
not as much like, oh, you just
people
sold a
aren't.
pilot off that set. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
here people are kind of making it happen. So that like when there's opportunities and there's something to work for, people are a little bit less dragging each other every 2 seconds.
And you don't see
And
so many people often. You
People
know,
don't have
you,
that
like,
much
run
time
into,
to get involved in.
You run
bullshit,
into
yeah.
somebody that you really like every 3 months because you're on the road or they're on the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot more fun. I mean, you were surprised to how
Well, yeah.
sociable
I mean,
and
when we moved here,
you were like, let's do our own thing.
yeah, I was like, let's do our own thing. Like, you'll make your friends, I'll make mine, and then we got.
Like separate from each
Yeah, I
other.
was like, we'll just
'Cause
like
I was,
we'll
like,
do our own
bitchy
thing.
and
Yeah,
she
I
was
didn't
friendly.
want her to drag me down, and and then she started getting invited to all of these really cool parties, and I was like, hey,
I wanna go to cool
did you tell people? Did you tell them I'm your wife? Can I come? Can
Can I be your plus one?
did you let them know I'm coming? Yeah,
And I'm nice.
yeah.
So I'm like,
drag
fine, you
her.
could come with me. If
Yeah.
it was the other way around, I guarantee
No.
you she'd be
Really?
going solo to those parties. She's sweet on the outside. She looks very sweet the inside.
But it's it's like you seem like more
the bitchy one, yeah.
mean
Mean one.
street tough with the hat.
it's the
and
hat,
everything.
baby. It's just because I'm having a
yeah,
bad
like
hair
it-
day, and I feel like everybody has great hair in here.
I just
You
washed. I
and
don't know about Luci.
Chris looks amazing. Jess
Chris
looks pretty
is
good.
cool.
I
No,
washed
I'm-
mine today for the first time in ages.
Oh, really?
Well, that's the way to do
Just
it.
let it happen. It was time.
Yeah, but it's good when you don't wash it and then you do.
Yep, back in action.
Well, we're honored.
Oh yeah, I figured. Today's the
I'm
day.
assuming it's
These
for,
are, I
for
asked.
us.
I asked Chris. I said, "Are these shower guests? I should shower. I'm in the shower. Put on clean
It's
clothes."
good that you can ask your producer these questions.
Yeah.
They
No,
know,
sometimes he'll be like, "They're like a wash your face guest."
I'm really, Chris, I'm very flattered.
Yeah. He said full on shower, clothes, everything, the whole deal.
And if you fart, blame it on Lucy.
Blame it on the
Yeah.
dog. She cranked out another one, I feel like, a little bit ago. I could feel it. I don't know if, yeah.
I was
Oh,
taking
yeah.
a selfie with her, and she
She let it loose.
She got nervous. Well, I guess maybe she's gone off to be alone.
She
got
knows.
embarrassed.
Sometimes I worry about. I was reading a book. It was mostly about mental. It was a book for humans about like how to make your life not endless nightmare. And part of it is you talked about animals, how they have no hang-ups about, and they're like the only ones that do are ones that like spend a lot of time with humans, and then you start to
Develop.
adopt their human mental. So I always feel I'm like, oh, am I sweating her too much about farts and other things, and getting her to develop mental problems. I'm sorry, but I'm just the most distracted podcast in the history of. See, you asked her when you got here if there was like any theme or anything like that. Even if there were a theme, I wouldn't manage to stay on it. I'm the worst podcast host in the history.
No, it's fun because we cover so much.
We cover a lot of ground.
Yeah.
That's why it's the #1 podcast.
There you go.
It's the most popular podcast as a result.
Absolutely.
But wait, so I not want to guys look at Montreal.
Oh, working together as comedians.
Working together.
Oh, yeah. So Iman got invited to Cool Parties. She was kind enough to let me come with her when we got here to New York. Because suddenly she liked the comedy scene here. I do too. But you got invited to cooler parties. And then...
My friends are cooler than yours.
And then,
basically.
Yeah. And we started working together on stage last summer, where we actually shared the stage together for a part of a show. We started developing this cartoon account at the El-Salomons with our friend who's the illustrator, who's a genius. He's so good.
Yeah, I love that. They're amazing.
He's Jesse Brown.
Jesse Brown
is
is great, yeah.
And it started, he drew us for our wedding invitations. And El-Salomon was our like hashtag in our email for people for our wedding. And then we started always putting our interactions like back and forth stuff as dialogue on Facebook, and people liked them. And then he wanted to do something together, and that's kind of how that happened. And from that, I guess we kind of started, it just became a natural thing where, because we were, the good thing about being married or being in a comedy couple is that when you travel, it's less lonely, and you can explore cities, and you can have someone to do like tourist stuff with.
Yeah.
And share rooms and all of that, and sometimes we co-headline clubs, and it was really kind of the audience that was like, well, are you guys gonna...
One of the first times that we co-headlined in Calgary for
a Pride,
they asked us to do a Q&A afterwards. We're like, okay.
We each did like a separate set.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was coming off stage, and the host was like, the organizers, like, she knew that we didn't know that, because you feel like you've done all of the stuff you want to say in a jokey way during your set, and then it's weird to then be like, okay, and now a Q&A, like in a comedy club, not like some school or something context. And we didn't realize anyway, so then we started doing a Q&A and doing a lot of press together, when we would co-headline, and people were always like, but are you going to be on stage together? Are you going to be...
So yeah, it's basically people wanted to see us on stage together, because I think like comedy duos are not something that you see as often anymore, and especially a married couple, although we're like different and gay and Palestinian Jewish, there's still that marriage factor that appeals to a lot of people, and the relationship factor that appeals to a lot of people. So we started doing that at Just for Laughs last year. BBC Radio also asked us to do something together for them.
Nice.
They're the ones who pushed it, because Just for Laughs was like, we'll give you guys 2 nights, do whatever you want. If you want to promote your cartoon, whatever you want to do. And then we decided to because BBC pushed us to do something together, and the response was so good. We're like, okay, let's try. And it was horrible to work together at the beginning, because we have completely different styles. We've both been doing stand-up for over 10 years separately. We have ways of working. We have we're very different. So it was brutal the first night. I mean, we sold out the show, but we were
miserable,
about to get divorced. I think it was really brutal.
No, the shows went great, but
but we didn't think it was great. Everybody was like, "That's amazing." And we're like, "What?"
No,
we felt awful the whole entire time, Yeah. But it's just a matter of adjusting to each other, and. Now I feel like super
groove,
Now it's gotten San Francisco Sketch Fest, I think, was the most fun that we've had since we started.
We've done so we've been doing some shows and doing some festivals and stuff as a duo act, and now we could do a full hour together. Last summer we did 20 minutes together Just for Laughs, and then we each did 20 minutes alone.
Yeah, we're we can't handle more than 20 minutes.
No, you have to start, so you can't.
No, of course.
He's
Fuck you.
into it.
No, anyway, so yes. So now we do a full hour, and it's like mostly fun.
Mostly
But
fun.
it's a different dynamic because
How do you do it? Do you write it together, or is it sort of you have like loose ideas you're gonna?
we plan out the order and of like the different sections. If it's like the how we met stuff or the like PDA section or like the having kids section or parents or whatever. And some jokes are
But you
pulled
have
from
kids?
No, we just we have some embryos in the freezer, so there's like a little story about like getting the sperm donor, and we're just still on the fence about that.
Would you get the YouTube broad should kiss guy?
No.
Well, mostly
Okay.
because you're
Just wanted
afraid
to
that the
clear.
two of you would be too.
It would be too hairy.
a
I
hairball.
mean,
Oh, a
yeah,
hairy
it would
child.
actually be a
Oh,
hairball. We're both really. That's like the only. I'm all for like interracial marriages, but I think like the only mix that shouldn't go together is Middle Eastern and Italian because it's just too hairy.
Too much waxing.
It's just too much hair and waxing, and
But
They
it could
come
be
out in a
awesome.
tracksuit.
Like,
it's just like
yeah, could be amazing.
I'm still struggling with that, you know. So no, no. I wanted a redhead. That was my only requirement when we were picking a sperm donor. I really love redheads, clearly, and I feel like they're very rare.
Well, they're not popular in the.
I don't know why
if
they're
you-
not popular. They're gorgeous.
The database that you put in the search terms, we put in redhead, and there were only 2 guys.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was like of many banks. Like it was like a data, like a collective. Yeah. I'm
2
doing
guys
this, like-
out of like
With
4
adult pictures.
With adult pictures,
Yeah.
exactly. There might have been like a handful, 4 or 5.
Wait,
with
you
only
see
2.
what the guy looks like, the donor?
Yeah,
So you
know
often
everything
you
about.
get like a kid picture of them, but not all of them offer you an adult picture.
They don't want you to see how horribly wrong
It went,
because
yeah.
everyone
It's kind
looks
of okay.
pretty cute, like
when they're
generally,
babies, generally, yeah.
you know. But eventually, as an adult, you can look and now you can predict like, oh, that's not gonna go well
Yeah.
over time.
Some of them give you an adult like silhouette, so you could see like their, like it's like a black like a profile or whatever.
I would just go for it and just every different looks, casual, boating. I would just give a full portfolio.
Well, the one that this one wanted, there's 2 with adult pictures. One of them was like in a suit and military guy and like tall and had done college in the right number of years. And the other guy was, like he was on a beach with jorts and like a natty light. And he was wraparound sunglasses, so you couldn't even see his eyes. And he was giving a piggyback to a woman who for privacy reasons had been cut out, so it was just her legs. And this was the one that she wanted.
I don't know, military guy, they just freak me out. I'm just like, he likes to travel, which means he likes to invade countries. You know, like I'm not, you know.
But I was hoping, but that's
He's a
not
Middle
that's not in
Eastern
the
woman.
DNA. I mean,
No,
I just
I know.
was hoping the discipline would be.
I know, the other
you
guy seemed fun and his hair looked better. I don't know.
But we're fun.
So the fun in the sun guy won.
No,
thank
she
God.
won.
You-
This is the boss, by the way,
Oh, okay.
in the relationship.
No, but I mean, because we're fun. We didn't need that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're not hanging out with him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you just want.
We want like.
I just don't want a Republican son, you know
yeah,
what
but
I mean?
we're gonna get that no matter what.
I know, probably our
You
karma.
think just as like
They always go
punishment?
the other
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
After what
Yeah,
we did to our
maybe.
parents.
Oh God.
Well,
for sure.
Am I getting this right that your parents weren't thrilled?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
Because of being Palestinian and Jewish?
Because of everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, in my case,
Maybe more the Palestinian stuff.
maybe
'cause she
more
had
the Palestinian. I
girlfriends
had a girlfriend before. And they were pretty cool at the beginning because I don't think they ever, because Iman didn't. It took a while for Iman to come out about the relationship, to come out about like out of the closet about it. So I think my parents at first were like, "Oh, this is never going to go anywhere. Like she's never going to do that to her family." God
I'm
knows.
like,
most
watch
people,
me.
So it was
Oh, so
only
they thought-
once it got serious, then my family panicked, because I think people have their stereotypes about Muslims and honor killings and traditions, and there's no way she's going to be gay and tell her parents this is not going to be a thing, and then of course she did, and it was serious, and then my family was freaked out. Yeah.
So they were freaked out because she's Palestinian, and then were your parents freaked out when you came out to them?
Yeah, of course. They freaked out. They didn't come to the wedding. At least, like, Jess's parents came around. My parents didn't.
They didn't. Have they come around yet?
A little bit. I mean, they're just. I always say it's like my parents. Have you seen the movie The Big Sick?
Oh, not yet.
Okay. But one of the scenes is basically the brown dad is disowning his brown son because he's dating a white girl.
Yeah.
But he's disowning him like, you're disowned, but here's a sandwich for later in case you get hungry. Those are my parents.
Oh, okay.
It's exactly the same thing. It's like they have to publicly show that they're against it, but deep down inside they don't care. So they're like closeted about the fact that they're okay with this. They can't be public about it because it's like shameful in front of the community.
Yeah, because when we're with them, they're
so
nice.
normal.
Yeah, normal, and they don't seem, even if we're like,
even if we're touching, like nothing.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just like when they're walking back to the car, they were like, "Get out of here!
God will strike you down.
Don't come back."
But the Jewish thing, I don't think bothered. Like, they wouldn't have been excited if I was like, here's a Muslim girl. I don't think they would have been like, yay, you know? They'd be as horrified, as equally horrified. It's just the girl factor.
Yeah.
Well, they don't think it's natural.
They definitely don't think it's natural. They told it, you know, they suggested we find brothers to marry so we could remain
two
close.
guys that are two that are brothers to each other.
Yeah, to marry us so we could stay close.
Like just see each other casual, like at dinner parties and stuff.
Exactly.
Or sister-in-laws.
That would be sister-in-laws
I don't
instead
think
of wives.
they get how this works.
Exactly.
I mean, your dad's never suggested two broads should kiss.
No, there's no way.
That sounds like my mother. I think, like,
Yeah?
she would always like, I have no, because she's, you know, Irish Catholic, super Irish Catholic lady, and she would always, so I would like sort of challenge her if she would ever, wouldn't say like overtly like homophobic things, but she would be like, I'm totally cool with it. I just don't think that, you know, because like the just stupid like church things are like, it's totally fine. They just can't act on it. Like, I'm like, well, you get that you're not fine with anything if that's what you're saying. But, you know, she's it's from a different era.
It's cool if they repress it.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But Lucy does not agree. That's the first we've gotten.
She does not like the Catholic Church. I'll tell you
She's
that
not.
much.
Does not like the
She
Catholic
doesn't think
Church.
she's not entertained.
We've both rejected the church here.
Well, she lives pretty close to like the gay epicenter of Stonewall here. And,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like
Yeah, we're you're right around
I don't
the
want
corner.
to say where you're living exactly to your
Not the
many
exact
listeners.
block,
I don't get stalkers or what.
Not on
Just
top of
the,
Stonewall. and
Not exact. Or, no, you should say on top of Stonewall, because then
Yeah.
that'll be...
That'll throw them off.
Yeah, throw them off my... I think I've accidentally, like, said what street I live on things before, and but no one's come to kill me.
No.
Besides, what a way to go, I figure. That's how it happens.
It makes you so famous.
I know. We were just talking about this, just sort of the internet and how, like, I was, not without getting into it too much because it'd be really depressing, but just the way that everyone that dies, so people, I think, maybe subconsciously be like, oh, there'll be like a lot of tweets about me.
I'll finally be trending.
Yeah. Whatever it'll take. But no, that being said, I don't want anyone to I feel like I'll be all right. I mean, no one's going to kill me, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, we get a lot of internet hate, you could imagine, for everything that we represent. But like we're still not at like the stage to be worried that somebody will kill us yet. We're like not that big yet.
That's the great
thing.
I'm not
Yeah.
either, of course, but that's something to shoot for.
Yeah.
We did have the IDF send me an email to my website.
You're right.
The
What's that?
Israeli Defense Forces, the Israeli Army sent me an email.
What did they say? Can you say?
They just wanted to. They wanted to do an interview. They wanted to interview us, and it was like get in touch, and it's basically, from what I understand, it's their like the military's propaganda wing where they try to put out like positive stories that make we're not even living in Israel, so I don't know what the idea is, but it's basically to weaponize a nice story for their own ends.
Oh, like they wanted to be like, see?
Yeah, exactly. While they're just like, and now leave your house, or whatever.
But if they would include a link to your website, it might be worth it for the traffic.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'd rather come another direction.
Yeah,
I don't want to cooperate with them.
I would say hold off. Hold off. See what else comes.
But all that to say, yeah, I think one day I might be worried, but so far, yeah.
Yeah, so far we're not a big deal.
We shouldn't. No,
if they're listening,
we're planting ideas in the head. So
I know.
all it takes is one loner somewhere.
I know.
You guys, thank you so much for. Will you come back and talk to me some more soon?
Yes, please.
Yes, we
Maybe
will.
on my other podcast,
We'd
my
love
Canadian
that.
podcast.
Oh yeah, please, yeah. let
Even
us
though
know.
there's so much more we didn't get, could have talked for 7 more hours.
I agree.
But for now, thank you, and everyone go to El-Salomons.com.
Is there a dash?
No,
on the
it's
website?
not-
It's
There's
no.
no dash.
No, it's
The
The L. Oh, you know what?
El-Salomons.com.
In my mind,
Or at
it's
the
the other one.
El-Salomons.
It is the El-Salomons.com, and then it did what I said in the. It's not important. I don't understand how the internet works. Chris, edit all that out, and then put some action music at the end. Thank you. And there you have it, my delightful conversation with Jess Salomon Eman El-Husseini. For more information on both of them, go to El-Salomons.com, and then when you get there, you can link to their own individual websites, and they're also, spoiler alert, going to be on another podcast with me very soon. More on that coming down the pike a little later. My thanks, as always, to my partner in crime, the brains behind the operation, the technical whiz. I'm just the incredible hair and velvet throat. Anyway, I want to thank Chris Gersbeck, of course, for making this possible. I want to thank all of you for listening, and especially want to thank those of you that help us keep this podcast being the slick operation it is by supporting us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Dave Hill and join this incredible movement. We got patches, we got Billy Joel songs, we got erotic short stories, we got crank phone calls. It goes on. And there's t-shirts. Did I mention that? T-shirts, you heard me. And bonus content. Chris, maybe add an echo after I say bonus content for emphasis. That's about it. I guess get out there and just live, damn it. Because I'm done talking. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave Hill. Stay hydrated, everybody. I'm done.